Here we go. Yeah. Tech King Mike. Tanner so lit. Alright. It's Saturday, yep, it's time to brawl. One of these cats gotta fall. Damn right, it's a tech fight. You're damn right, it's a tech fight. Man, it's Saturday, man, it's time to brawl. One of these cats gotta fall. You're damn right, it's a tech fight. You're damn right, it's a tech fight. So easy, cue the funeral. The funeral. The funeral, the loser gotta go. Oh, easy, cue the funeral. The funeral. The funeral, the loser gotta go. Oh.
All right. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Saturday Night Tech Fights. You guys are here this evening to see some of your favorite content creators debate and go back and forth about some various tech topics. And tonight, we got a banger for you guys. Now, running with the theme of twos, since this is season 2, we decided on episode 2, it was going to be a tag team battle of twos. Bars, don't quote me on that. But tonight, folks, we have a tag team battle, the first ever tag team battle for Saturday Night Tech Fights. And I have got some heavy hitters in the building tonight. These guys are here they are not here to play. They are not here to take home any L's. They are here to win. And we're going to see how this goes because I've got a good squad tonight. I can't wait to see how this is going to go down. But as you guys know, first and foremost, I have to introduce my judges. Now, I have 2 of them already here. Our special guest judge of the evening is on his way. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and bring in my first judge of the evening. So our first judge, as you guys already know, this is your tiebreaker. This is the last line of defense. This is the one that you have got to make sure that you go through if you want to win the round. So make sure that you keep that in mind, guys, when you are debating tonight. Miss Adrian, welcome.
Well, hello there. And I just want to let the chat know, if it comes down to my vote, I am voting on style. I like to see people get dragged, and I like for there to be cheap shots.
There it is. Now, I'm bringing in my next judge. This is also another guest judge of the evening. Not a first timer on the Tech Fights. You've seen him compete in the Battle Royales, and he's got a grudge match against one of the debaters this evening. But, we'll see how that goes when that day comes. But for now, he gets to return the favor against him tonight. So I'm bringing in the man, Adam J. Matlock, a.k.a. Mr. Tech Odyssey. How you doing?
Welcome. Howdy. Glad to be here.
Yes, sir. All right. So like I said, folks, our special guest judge of the evening will be here shortly. But in the meantime, the show must go on. So I'm going to go ahead and bring in the debaters. Now, guys, these teams are major. Now, you would have never thought that you'd see these teams, but I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now, we got them. You guys have seen them go at each other on the Tech Fights, and they teamed up with each other to see if they can take down a common enemy. So the first person I'm bringing in, you've seen him in the judges' booth. He got tired of people talking crap. He got tired of the smack. The Hulk is busting out tonight. The peach is no longer sweet. Scott Peachy, how you doing?
All right, y'all. How you doing? I'm getting ready to cut myself a cigar, but I figure I should probably just leave it until I take Doba where he needs to go.
Now, joining Mr. Scott Peachy this evening will be his teammate who has come into the Tech Fights multiple times, taken home multiple belts, multiple W's, and he is the man from across the pond in the future. You can catch him every Sunday night on the Lover of Check Chill stream. He's also been dropping videos nonstop, so make sure you subscribe to his channel. Benjamin, the Lover of Tech.
Yo.
What's going on?
As they say in Celebrity Deathmatch, let's get it on. Let's go.
All right, so now I got to bring in the last two people before I bring in my guest judge of the evening. Now, these two also went at each other on the Tech Fights, and these two have also gone back and forth in their own battle, so this should be pretty interesting to see how they do teamed up. So the first one on the team I'm bringing in, master photographer, professional, dope with the camera. You can catch him on his new channel, Sean Brooks, the creator of Sean Brooks Media. I'm sorry, Brooks Media. I don't know why I put the Sean in front of it. I'm gonna leave that alone. But Sean Brooks.
Hey, I said, hey, yo, what's good? Call me Sean B. Sean B. Nice. And if you don't act nice, you ain't saying it right. Okay, we in the building. Look, going off the lick of the day. It's a little bit.
Teaming up with Sean B. Nice this evening is going to be the one and only original Dobo Exotica.
You're going down, Peachy. I'm eating your soul for breakfast.
Why are you wearing a Smokey the Bear hat?
All right. So I'm going to go ahead and bring in the last member of the panel this evening, who is going to be our special guest judge. Now, this man is a YouTube guru. He is definitely one of the people that you can just literally can help you with your YouTube channel, help it grow, everything you need to know about it. He's also a camera nerd. I believe I heard him say he has over 20 cameras. So pick the good person to help judge this battle tonight. So I'm going to bring in our special guest judge, Roberto Blake. Welcome, good sir. Welcome.
Let the battles begin.
All right. So before we get started, I'm going to run down the rules for everybody in the chat so we know how this is going to go down. So a tag team battle is going to work tonight the same way that a normal debate works. Essentially, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a question on the screen. And when I put the question on the screen, one member from each team will be chosen to answer the question. That means that you will answer the question within 1 minute and 30 seconds when you choose your side, and you will be responsible for the 2-minute rebuttal. So keep that in mind. When you pick the person for the question, you are there for the whole question. Here's how this is going to go down. If you are knocked out in a question, the fight will not be over. It just means that your partner will have to come in and debate the next question alone. If they're able to beat both sides if they're able to beat both people on the same team on the next question, they will bring their partner back. So keep that in mind. So if you get knocked out, you have to be able to bring your partner. Your partner has to be able to bring you back. So I hope you guys got faith in each other, because we're going to see how this goes down tonight. Now, there are 5 questions, and that will be the end of it when it's all said and done. The judges make sure that while we are debating, we want to make sure that we keep it nice and tight for time's sake. So when it comes down to choosing your side of the argument, as in who you're choosing, make sure you go on ahead and say the name. We'll go into detail after the debate is over with, as far as to why you chose who you did and everything like that. So if there are no questions, we're going to go ahead and get this thing going. So I'm going to go ahead and do what I normally do, just cue my timer up here. And guys, I'm going to throw the first question up on the board. First question of the evening is, as cameras evolve, should they include built-in rechargeable batteries? As cameras evolve, should they include built-in rechargeable batteries? Who isn't tired of always having to swap the battery out of their camera when they're in the middle of a shoot? So let's just ask that question here. Should they include built-in rechargeable batteries? So what I'm going to do is once each team chooses who they want, I'm going to put the judges out, and I'm going to put both debaters on the screen, and we're going to go. So Sean and Dobo, who's going to answer this one?
What do you want, Sean? You want to go first here?
I go first. Why not?
All right, I'll let you have this one. Take it, Big Papa.
And out of Ben and Scott, who's going to take this one?
Ben, you want it?
Cool, I'll take it.
Okay, there it is. So the first question of the evening, again, as cameras evolve, should they include built-in rechargeable batteries? So Sean and Ben, what side of the arguments do you want?
I get to choose. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, anybody goes first?
No, Ben gets to choose first.
Why don't we do a coin toss? Because it makes no sense for me to.
No, Ben. Just, come on. I know you're scared. I can see it in your face, because The first response was, "Can we do something extra to help me?"
I'm trying to make it fair, so I would say no.
Okay. All right. So Ben is saying no, that they should not include built-in rechargeable battery. Sean is saying yes. That said, we are all going to leave, and you guys are going to get your 1 minute and 30 seconds apiece. So I'm going to go ahead and get the timer ready here. So give me just a second. All right. Judges, let's back out and let's let them do their thing. Ben, you're going to go first. Ready?
Cool. Yep.
Go.
So rechargeable batteries will go against the user experience. So put yourself in a situation where the recharge time, batteries take time to recharge. And if your battery goes flat, that alone, having to even wait tops to how long a rechargeable battery takes to recharge, even if it's fast charging, an hour and a half, 2 hours waiting where you're going to be tethered to one place. Even if you're with a power bank, it's not the same. You're not going to have the freedom of being able to shoot and get the shot. That's the convenience of having a removable battery in all situations, especially when you're specifically talking about a camera. It doesn't necessarily have to be just in a professional situation. It could just be you on holiday. If you're on holiday, you're sightseeing, you're taking shots, and you're trying to, get the best shot of you, your friends, your family, all the sightseeing, and you've got a proper camera and the battery goes off, to wait for the time to recharge, it's a painful process. We've seen lots of people in situations where they've got inbuilt rechargeable batteries, which have their convenience, but when you're in that situation where you can't actually get a shot, that's a painful place to be when spare batteries fix that. So yes, the convenience looks good, but it works for certain situations and certain products, but for cameras, especially dedicated cameras, definitely not.
All right. Sean, are you ready?
Let's go, bro.
All right. You got 1 minute and 30 seconds. Let's do it.
So the plus of having a rechargeable battery in a camera is very simple. 9 times out of 10, not 9 times out of 10, this is something we know. The way technology evolves, 9 times out of 10, or 10 times out of 10, that battery is going to be a bigger battery than what you're getting currently in the removable batteries. Let's take the smartphones for prime example. When smartphones was coming out, when they had the removable batteries, it was really small, and then you had a situation where they just couldn't hold a charge as much longer. Now, if you look at batteries that are already internal, whether it's lights, whether it's a mic, this is something that's a convenience for you. Not being able to have to swap my battery out is a super convenience for a professional, especially when all your stuff is USB-C charged or USB-C powered. So let's take this battery, for example, right here. Now, this is a GH5. This battery is an 1860 milliamp hour. So let's say in the GH6, they put a rechargeable battery in there, and they say, you know what? We can actually put a 4,000 milliamp hour battery in there, since no longer we have to take the battery out. Therefore, we'll also give you guys fast charging. So let's just say on a standard charge of that battery, you're looking at about a good 6-hour use. That's already 3 times more than what you're going to get in the standard battery. So when you are having inbuilt batteries, when you're having batteries that can be recharged, 9 times out of 10, their capacity is going to be much larger, and therefore you're going to have much flexibility when you're traveling. Now you don't have to sit there and travel with 6 or 7 batteries on a shoot, which to me, that drives me crazy. So if I got a camera that can stay charged for 6 or 7 hours, and if I do need power, I could plug up for a USB-C cable that I have a plethora of, and then
Bruh.
All right. Gentlemen, y'all got 2 minutes to go back and forth. Are you ready?
Yeah.
do it.
All right, let's go.
So as a professional, then you got to keep in mind, I do this.
Either way,
so
bro.
Multiple batteries is a headache, dog.
Now
I get
so
that.
Disappointing. You as a professional, you're saying you're in a wedding situation. You'll be happy to wait an hour, 2 hours to tell your client, hey, guess what? My rechargeable battery that's built into my camera. No,
that wouldn't happen though. It would not. It would not happen, because if I'm shooting a ceremony again, this is what happens when you're a professional versus a non-professional. Let me tell you why. Because if I'm shooting a wedding, I'm going to have a power bank next to me 9 times out of 10 if my battery is low. But the battery is going to be a higher capacity if it's internal.
We already know that.
This is a fact.
Client wait, let me recharge my battery, which is going to take
I wouldn't
2
have to
hours
do that
before I
again.
can
If you're,
recharge.
it's not gonna
In
take 2
a
hours. Every
non-controlled
battery's been coming out on USB-C charger has included fast charging. So if you include like a
Oh,
25 or 48 watt, we talking about a 3 hour and 15 minutes. A 3 hour charge in 15 minutes.
On a fast
Mm-hmm.
of the fastest recharge, you're telling me that all the rechargeable batteries that you've seen as of recent, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can recharge them less than 5 minutes to full battery. That's what you're trying to tell me. So
You said
that,
less than
in
5
that short
minutes?
space of time, even 5 minutes, are you telling me? Yeah.
No, wait, again, see,
Tell
again,
me-
this is
tell me
you're
what
asking a
product.
professional something. So for me, I'm coming prepared. I'm coming prepared. So 9 times 10, if I'm shooting a ceremony and this camera is rated for 6 or 7 hours, I know how to master my shots. People who need unlimited battery life, bro, who need just this, who
cannot run
need
out of
17 to
batteries,
18 batteries.
What
You are
if
one,
the battery
you are
becomes
upping your
faulty
load.
internally for what?
You're opening your load, though. You're opening your load.
Inbuilt. That means inbuilt.
Okay,
If the battery goes faulty inside, the whole product is rendered useless. If a battery with a non-removable battery,
a battery. So
useless,
okay,
the
so
whole
let me ask you a
product
question. The ones that actually go inside the camera can actually.
All right. We're going to go ahead and get started with the voting for that particular round. So we're going to start with Adam. What do you have for that round?
I have Sean for that round. I really like Ben's argument, but with the camera stuff and the batteries and talking about the future proofness, I lived through this with BlackBerry years ago, and we thought that not having rechargeable batteries was going to ruin our lives. But battery technology moving forward, I think Sean gets it.
Okay, so that's one for Sean. All right, and Roberto, who do you have?
I have Ben on this one. Ben brought up the very good point of comparing the experience of the smartphones, and I've thought about all the arguments on the previous Saturday Night Tech Fights of the degradation of batteries due to charging and what happens with that. And so I think he made a valid point when he started bringing up the shelf life of the camera and how that would impact it.
Okay, Adrian, who do you have?
I have Ben.
Okay, all righty then. So we're going to go ahead and get into this next question here. I'm going to bring in Scott and Elbow.
Sorry, I'm having a luau. I'm multitasking.
I swear to God, I think you're going to end up being naked here soon.
We're having a luau. What? I'm sorry. The luau.
All right, let's go ahead and get on with the next question.
Just going to have to carry on.
Let's get on with the next question. So, has 4K become the new standard for video recording? Has 4K become the new standard for video recording? That is the question. So, Sean and Ben, you guys need to check with your team. Will you guys stay, or will you guys let your teams take over?
I'm gonna let Dobo. I'm gonna tag Dobo in on this one.
I'm gonna get this one. I'm gonna be all over it, all over your peachy ass.
I got it, Ben.
All right.
So
I got it, Ben.
All right. So, the question once again is, has 4K become the new standard for video recording? So, since Ben won that last round, that means, Scott, you get to go first. So, what side of this argument will you choose? Yes or no?
I am choosing yes.
You will choose yes. Okay, judges, I will see you in a moment. And you guys have 1 minute and 30 seconds on the clock. Scott, are you ready?
I am ready.
Your time starts now, sir.
So I'm going to go from the convenience factor of actually being a content creator. There's a reason why edit in post is actually a reason it exists. And so when you're recording in 4K, actually think about using the 4K live crop on the GH5. You actually have a greater ability to get very creative with your shots. You can even make your 1080p shots look better when you film it in 4K. You can downsample for 4K, especially if you put that out on YouTube. Your 1080p on YouTube, because you shot it in 4K, actually looks better because you have more information in there. Keep in mind, again, when you're live streaming right now, I'm capturing this in 4K. And even though the stream is actually only 720p, I actually look really crispy compared to probably my counterpart, Dobo, who I'm pretty sure probably doesn't even have clothes on at this point. So you want a nice shot. You want an actual really nice shot for your family picture book or an online album or something like that, or content creators like us. Hey, you want a nice crispy shot from your video for your thumbnail? Guess what? Your 4K video actually has the ability to give you that. Let's say you actually have shaky hands and you want to be able to use no gimbal or anything like that, because I'm not going out and buying a gimbal. I want to actually handhold my 4K footage. I'm going out there capturing a whole new world of all my footage out there, and I have the ability in post to crop down in. I'm saving time. I'm getting better creative shots. I get less B-roll, which means I don't have to have a whole bunch of standard SD cards or anything like that around, because I do have...
All right. So, Dobo. Lord, you know your side of the argument. Are you ready, sir?
Let's rock and roll, baby.
All right, let's go.
Firstly, Scott, these are coconut tits. Secondly, 4K is not going to be the standard anytime soon. 1080p and below are still more than acceptable forms of video resolutions. And lastly, you look terrible in 4K. I'm just telling you, stop downsampling. I see those nose hairs. Stop it. Cut it out. Nobody wants to see that. So let's talk about this. 1080p allows you to move faster through your edits, blaze through your edits. It also streams 100 times better and smoother, especially when you export 1080p out to H.265. It's super, super easy. That post 4K crop crap that everybody keeps trying to pull, you can do the same thing with 1080p. You're not losing that much more of pixel. The reality is that most 1080p cameras have a higher bit rate than they shoot in 4K. That's a fact. And if 4K was going to be the standard, how come your broadcast televisions haven't used it or pushed it so much? They're actually shooting in 1080p and they're upscaling to 4K. So they're still shooting in 1080p. It's not 4K. It's not true 4K. Nobody has a need for 4K. If your videos suck in 4K, guess what? They're still going to suck in 1080p. 1080p is for every single creator. The creators that want to be able to get through their edits fast and easy and use something that doesn't break their computer or the banks. The reality is that most of us have computers that are still really old, and we're just trying to get through our daily edits. 4K allows you to save space on storage because it's not big.
All right. 2 minutes. Let's go.
You talk about blazing through the 4K edits, but you can edit 4K on an iPad. So how do you actually have the ability?
I don't do my edits on an iPad. I edit on Premiere Pro.
You talk about having this big, slow thing as a computer, but you can actually edit 4K footage
but not every
on an iPad.
Wants an iPad. You're assuming that every individual, every creator wants to support.
No, I mean, you can actually do the 4K through an iMovie or a Final Cut or a DaVinci or anything like that. It's like
my argument correct. Let me ask you guys.
No, actually, you just said your argument. You have to have the ability to have this big monstrosity machine to do 4K footage. You don't actually have that. No, you don't have.
You know that helps to be able to blaze through that edit. Scott, you're assuming that every creator. I'm sorry, you have an Apple product, PG?
Yeah, I have multiple Apple
but you're
products.
assuming that every creator has an Apple product.
There's a reason why Apple is like the #1 thing when it comes to everybody wants an iPhone. Everybody
1080p versus 4K.
But you're saying that you can't actually have a sustainable 4K on an actual iPad.
1080p.
Not editing on 1080p. It's not as hard as you're making it seem like it is.
Videos. I will be honest with you. Most of my videos are 1080p. Nobody knows. I've never had one person say, "Oh, did you shoot that in 4K?" No, because nobody gives a shit. Can your eyes define 4K? Your eyes can't.
You're actually absolutely they can. They actually go up to about they can. I promise you. You can look at the facts right now on Google right now.
What size are my coconuts, Peachy? What size are my coconuts, Peachy?
About a triple E. But the idea is the human eye actually has the ability to go way above 4K. The human eye has the ability to go way above that. My coconuts are bigger than yours. Why don't you come over here and touch my coconuts?
You couldn't tell. You couldn't tell. You have no coconuts. These are real babies.
Look, I got plenty of coconuts. You don't want to see my chubby butt out there, but I'm telling you right now. So you've said two things that are not factual. The inability, you have to have this big, powerful machine to do 4K, and the human eye can't see above 4K, please. The human eye is actually closer to 16K. Oh, but go out and Google it. Go look at a science journal, for Christ's sake.
Go look.
That's all you have to do.
That people have to spend on.
Love you, Dobo.
I love you too, man. He's wrong.
Yeah. I love both your coconuts.
Thank you.
All right.
My coconuts are real.
I'm trying to get my last judge in here, but I am having tech woes tonight because my mouse is acting like it doesn't want to work.
You know
All
better.
right. So, bringing everybody back in.
He knows he's
We're
wrong.
going to start with Roberto. Who do
You
you
lost.
have for that round?
That one was really hard. That one was really hard.
Roberto's the everyday creator. He surely understands these woes when you're trying to edit and anything. I'm just saying.
And yet, Scott Peachy pulled it out, and it's partly because of how many creators I actually know that edit on iPad. It's everything Jonathan Morrison showed us. It's everything that I know that El Jefe has been doing. And you do not need a gargantuan monstrosity like the one that I own personally to do this. It's like, yeah, you almost had me, Dobo, but
Terrible with them.
All right.
Unbelievable.
Adam, who do you have for this one?
I do like both arguments here, but when we talk about the standard, I got to give this one to Mr. Coconuts over there, just because of the standard right now, and I get the future argument, and even with the technology that's available, still requires quite a bit for 4K. So,
what was the question? It was the standard. Stick to the question.
If it were the future, but the standard, I think it's still 1080p.
All right, Adrian, who do you have?
I am going with Dobo on this for the same reason as Adam.
Okay, Dobo for the same reason as Adam. All right. So we're going to go ahead and get this rolling here with the next question. So you guys give me just a second.
Dobo, you were this close to a knockout, man.
I was trying, Roberto. I was trying. But you know what?
You did a good
job. At the end of the day, you're going to leave the stream. You're going to say, I know who he is now. The win for me either way.
I think we're learning a lot about who you are at this point with the clothing and stuff that you're
I'm worried
wearing.
about the next round. Please don't take anything else off.
I'm telling you, he's going to be naked.
The stream will be demonetized.
Next question is, when it comes to thermals, have cameras become too small for their intended usage? When it comes to thermals, have cameras become too small for their intended use? So that is the question. Sean, Dobo, Ben, Scott. Who's going to answer this one?
What do you want to do, Sean?
I'll take this one, Scott.
You know, Dobo,
I'll take
I'm
this
gonna
one,
give you this
Scott.
one. I'm gonna give you that one.
You gonna give it? All right. I got this one. All right. You got this, Sean.
Dobo and Scott are staying in. Our Dobo and Ben are in. All right. So I'm going to remove. Oh, I'm sorry.
Can I see the question one more time, please?
Yes. The question is, when it comes to thermals, have cameras become too small for their intended usage? Have they become too small for their intended usage? That is the question. So it looks like on that last one, Dobo won. So Dobo.
I'm going to go with no, they haven't gotten too small for their intended usage.
Okay. So you're going to have 1 minute and 30 seconds. Let me get your timer ready here. And judges, we'll see you in just a second. Thank you, El Jefe Reviews, for the super chat, sir. We appreciate it. Thank you very much. All right, Dobo, you got 1 minute and 30 seconds. Let's go.
Okay, so I do not think thermals are a limitation of a camera size today in 2020. I shoot on drones with cameras LA big, and they shoot 8K and 6K resolution and never overheat. There is literally no issue with thermal throttling on cameras of any size. I think now in 2020, camera manufacturers have been able to figure out that sort of sweet spot on how to handle thermal dissipation on their cameras. They've added heat pipes, they've added ventilation, they've improved the software. As silicon in the cameras get better, they get more efficient. They become less power hungry, enable them to push the resolutions higher and keep the sizes smaller. If the cameras get smaller, they get more capable. You're able to put them into more situations. I just spit. I hope you saw that. 1080p, you Scott. But anyways, I digress. You're able to do so much more with the smaller camera. And if we let those cameras go all big instead of optimizing the tight, small little package, you lose. The bigger the camera that gets, the less capable it gets. And we're seeing this in Sony. We're seeing this in Canon. They're making their cameras smaller and smaller. Look at GoPro. They're able to shoot 4K 60 almost at an infinite record time, and it's a tiny package. We're seeing things like Instago, the tiniest camera, 20-gram camera, able to shoot for an extenuated period of time, and they have large heat sinks built into.
All right, Ben, are you ready?
Ready.
Let's go.
So they have, and the release of the Canon EOS R5 and R6 is a perfect example of that. If you look at it relative to sensor size, that's the only thing that will actually help negate it. But if we're looking at the actual functional size of it, it is a problem. It is a problem. And the only manufacturers that actually decided to know that fixing that in a hybrid camera, the question doesn't specify what type of camera. We could be looking at cinema cameras, hybrid cameras, point and shoot cameras. And the size of it is a real problem, to the point where manufacturers need to actually better the design. There's only so much optimization you can do, even with fabrication processes, with these processes in the cameras getting more efficient. As they get more efficient, they feel they can push more power through. You have to put things into place to make the bodies much bigger to dissipate. You cannot cheat thermodynamics. It's just something that you cannot do. Right? And Canon making the decision with the EOS R5 to go with a passively cooled, heavily sealed in a small body versus, let's just say, their cinema camera, which is a C200 or C500 Mark II, which has vents and ventilation with active cooling, right? With a fan curve. That's the difference. Making these cameras smaller for the sake of being smaller is another issue that it creates all over again. Again, different topic, but why do you think Apple decided to actually make their new MacBook Pros on the 16-inch thicker and bigger? Because they were trying to cheat thermodynamics. You can't.
All right, you guys got 2 minutes, and let's go.
Personally, I like to argue the point that Ben knows nothing about thermodynamics. Just because he pronounces it aluminium doesn't mean he knows jack crap about thermodynamics. Size does not matter when it comes to thermals. What it comes down to is efficiency of processor in silicone. Processor in silicone, Ben.
If you want your hands to melt, obviously you don't care about your hands. You want your hands to melt.
Me shooting 8K and 6K resolution on a drone with a sensor this small would be a problem. Manufacturers have made heat pipes to make cameras run cooler.
Your hands are burnt. You feel how embarrassing it's going to feel when you tell them
a monstrosity of the camera, Ben? You cannot fit a monstrosity of the
convenience of a small camera because it was smaller and it was more convenient, but yet it burns my hands.
And take
Good
those
luck
photos and
using
videos. You miss out on
something that you're going to be able to get something out of because it's smaller, more convenient. It's going to overheat. It's going to burn your hands. It's going to ruin your kit. How are you going to feel then?
Look at our cell phones. Our
why
cell
not
phones
have more functions?
cool
We're not talking about a cell phone. We're talking about cameras. We're not talking about that.
We're talking. I'm making a reference, man.
The fact that you're happy to have something that is functionally flawed just to look smaller and more convenient.
It has nothing to do with looking smaller. What does the camera? What is the camera's purpose?
You just stated the camera. Yeah.
GoPro.
So how can you use it? How can
would anybody use it? It wouldn't be a GoPro.
How can you use it when the form doesn't meet the function as proven? The form doesn't meet the function. How are you going to use it when the form doesn't meet the function? How? If the form of it and the aesthetics,
I shoot on Sony all day long, and I don't have any issues with overheating. And I know that Roberto
they still overheat.
He shoots on Sony, and he shot on Panasonic.
Go to the desert and tell me now. Even in newer generation Sony cameras,
Ben, you're taking the L on that one, bro. The argument was so weak, Ben. You're taking the L on that one, bro. You were shooting.
We'll find out here in just a second. Adam, who do you have for that one? Adam, you're muted.
Mute.
Oh.
I'm unmuted. All right. So as compelling of an argument as Dobo was making, Ben got me with that one. With as far as the one size fits all approach and the real world application and the thermodynamics. I mean, I feel like there's still some there. It was a good argument. Both of them were good.
All right. Roberto, who do you have for that one?
See, that one was close. Like, the arguments were both almost perfect. But when Dobo pulled out and he started talking about the silicon, and he actually did make some very valid points, and that's why I'm going to give it to him. I'm going to give it to him because actually I'm obsessed with the law of thermodynamics. And the thing is, Ben was right, but he neglected that specific detail of the fact that it was considered, and as somebody who owns basically every camera system, they considered that in the detail and the design, and the fact that Dobo brought that up, and the fact that they had thought of it, and they actually applied it, he won. Just barely, but he did it.
Adrian, who do you have?
Bye.
Dobo.
Okay. All right. So as we go into this next question,
all time.
The next question of the evening is going to be: who has the better lens selection, Canon or Sony? Who has the better lens selection, Canon or Sony? That is the question. So who's going to take this one, guys?
Dobo and Sean Brooks for 200, Alex.
My boy Brooks gonna do it.
All right. And out of Scott and Ben, who's going to take it?
Ben, we already talked about it.
All right. So who is that?
That's Ben.
We take it.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I got this.
Ben, I hope your back isn't hurting too bad. I hope your back isn't hurting too bad. All right. So we're going to go ahead and get this 1 minute and 30 seconds good to go. And we're going to get you going here. So Dobo won that round, which means, Sean, you get to start first. So
gonna take Sony for 200, Alex.
Sony for 200, Alex. That's what the man said. That's what the man gets. We're going to go ahead and let us get going. Go.
All right, now out the gate, if you guys remember, Ben already agreed with this. He already knows that Sony has the better lens now. So it's no point in sitting here going back and forth, listening to his terrible rebuttal on why Canon is the top choice. First of all, Sony has Tamron. And we all know that Tamron is probably one of the most affordable full-frame lenses out there. Canon have these big, stupid f2 to 2470 glass that pretty much does the same thing a $600 Tamron lens does. So now with Canon, you also have these big, stupid lenses, or you have EF glass, and now you got to buy an adapter to make it work on your new RF glass because their RF glass is super expensive. Versus in comparison to Sony, who dropping lenses like an 85 mil for $500, or when you buy an A6600, or when you buy an FX9, or when you buy a Sony A7S III or a Sony A7 III, all those lenses work for your account. Point blank, period. So the problem is right now, Canon does not have that type of diversity when it comes to their camera lens selection, and their camera lenses are way more expensive. And Sony has a better low light, so now you're getting cheaper lenses on an overall better body camera system. So to me, out the gate, between Tamron in comparison to something like EF, which is technically an APS-C size lens, Sony wins all day. Tamron for the done, and I'm out the game.
All right. Ben, are you ready? Uh-oh.
He left because he was scared.
Oh,
did he leave because he got scared?
Nah, he didn't. Oh, man. I think we lost Ben. Okay. I think we lost Ben. All right. So
can you guys hear me? Can you hear me now?
Here's what we're going to do. Oh, okay.
That's
okay.
cool.
All right.
I think we're back.
Okay. All right. So are you ready, Ben?
Yeah.
All right. Let's go.
Yeah. So coming from just the selection of third party alone is a weak argument. And no one in this argument heard me agree with what you're trying to say. So don't put words in my mouth to say that I agreed or I said this. I haven't said anything to comply or agree with your argument. Canon have much, much more unique lenses with what's coming with not just the RF lenses, but also their established EF, right? The adapters that they even use give you a level of convenience and the flexibility that you don't get on Sony. Look at what you get with the EF to RF lens adapter with the built-in variable ND. That is something where you've got unique lenses that have outer bulbuses that give you a different optical look on a wide angle with IS, which most of the Sony lenses don't have IS on a wide angle like what the Canon are doing. And you don't have to worry about filter threads on your different lenses because you've got a perfectly optically stable image quality that comes through with the built-in ND. As well as that, when it comes to, let's just say, a lens like the RF f2.8 15 to 35 millimeter with optical image stabilization built into the lens, there is no lens like that. When it comes to the same lens that you're actually trying to make fun of, show me where Sony actually has an f2 with a 24-70 in any of their lineup, whether it's from their G Master, their G, Tamron, or Sigma. None. So when it comes to better, it's not about selection, it's about the optical quality and the performance that you get from the manufacturer on the system that they're offering. And we all know it. Canon's more affordable, and you've got better accessibility when it comes to across the board and optical performance as well.
All right. So we got 2 minutes on the clock. And when you brothers are ready, let's get it going.
Out the gate, being right now, that 24-70 f2 is a huge lens. So that's number one. Number two,
the performance, it's not good. You're talking about size.
Listen, you said optical performance. We've argued about this again. A 50 mil that costs $100.
No.
You cannot tell the difference between a 50 mil that costs $1,000. You cannot tell the difference. On top of that, you said adapters. Adapters make your bodies less weather seal now.
No,
so Canon is an adaptive glass. You're not creating more space between the flange mount. You're creating more space between the flange mount. Can you argue that? Can we argue that? You're creating more space between the flange mount. So now when you buy an EF glass, which is an older glass,
if the selection
EF is older than RF, you have to find an adapter just to make it work because the RF glass is so
selection is crap.
Versus the Sony, who has a lens that's affordable and that's optically better and best in a lot of classes.
With the best optical
you don't have that argument, man. You do not have that argument. You picked out an F2 lens that is the size of a Canon 1DX Mark III.
No.
What do you can amount that on?
Tell me how Canon do their lines.
But the Tamron,
show me.
Go ahead. I'm gonna give you one. I'm gonna give you open.
Show me how many f1.2 primes that Canon has versus Sony. A lot. Sony can't.
First of all, but Sony has f1.4 lenses. No, we all know f1.2 and
f1.2. It's not about the difference. The fact that Canon system can do it.
You are going by numbers and not using experience. Again,
Canon system can do it. No.
Somebody who does it for real to somebody who does it on YouTube.
You do it for real. No. You always narrow it down to YouTube.
Seriously?
Life isn't always about YouTube. I know professionals.
You nailed it down to adaptive glass.
No.
So that means the EF mount is not the best mount because obviously you got to adapt it to the RF mount. Versus the Sony E mount, the glass is native all the way through.
No one else is doing that right now.
Native glass all the way through.
With a built-in ND with optical performance in the best and having unique lenses that work. It's the optical performance.
They don't need an adapter.
All the lenses.
All right, that was intense.
That was
damn y'all. That was real intense.
Long fight.
Roberto, let's start it off. Who you got for that one?
I love that Ben finally brought me some of the raw, visceral aggression from the dark side that I've been waiting for this entire tech fight. So good on you. But Sean swept the legs. Sean swept the leg. And he did it because his own professional experience as a videographer and photographer came through. There is no point at which an adapter is truly a convenience. It's a great option, but it's not a convenience. It is a hassle. It's one more thing to put in the bag. And the thing is, you shouldn't necessarily need it to make use of your stuff. Not to mention, he did bring up the simple fact that the APS-C Sony bodies and the full bodies, you have the upgrade path with the same glass. You aren't replacing or having to move to a different mount system or add anything to it, which means it is more practical and is more affordable in the long run from my perspective as another professional photographer, previous background. So Sean swept the leg.
All right. Adam, what do you have for that one?
This one's a difficult one. I gotta pull a Peachy. Is it here or is it here?
It's usually right here.
Oh, right here.
If you had glasses, you would push your glasses up and go like, oh.
Those were two really, really intense arguments, and I like the points that Sean made, but I felt like the strength of argument went with Ben on that one.
Okay. All right. Adrian, who are you choosing for that one?
Sean Be Nice.
All right. Sean B. Nizzle. All right. So we got another question to throw up here. We are down to, we got two more questions, folks. We got two more questions. So the next question that we're going to ask is, with things like 100 times zoom and 108 megapixel sensors, have smartphone cameras gone from functional to gimmick? When I ask it one more time, with things like 100 times zoom and 108 megapixel sensors, have smartphone cameras gone from functional to gimmick. Gentlemen, Scott and Ben, who's going to take this one?
I'm going to take it.
All right, Ben.
Bring it home.
We'll see you in a second. All right,
John,
Sean and
what
Bobo,
you want this one? Who got it?
Hey, Dobo, you've been whooping Scott ass, bro. Go ahead and tag him again.
All right, man. All right. I can't be responsible for my actions.
All right. So,
all right, let's go, Father Time.
All right.
the question is,
All right,
one more
TT.
time. With things like 100 times zoom and 108 megapixel sensors, have smartphone cameras gone from functional to gimmick? That is the question. Dobo, since you and Sean won that round, that means that you will get to start it off. Are you ready, sir?
I'm going to go with that they are a gimmick.
All right. Your time starts now.
All right. So the reality is that the vast consumer base that buys a phone doesn't say, does this have 108 megapixel, or does it have 100 times zoom? They really just don't care. They want a camera that can take a great photo of their kids, something that they can pull out of their pocket and use with ease. I think the reality is that most people just want simplicity. They don't care about all these little bells and whistles as a general consumer. Nobody's using their camera phone for professional photography where 108 megapixels would really matter. They want to take this photo, upload it to Instagram or Facebook or all their, social media. And the reality is that most times if you try to upload a photo of that size to Twitter or an Instagram, it's going to get absolutely obliterated by the compression of those websites. So what's the point at that point to do that? The cropping factor really doesn't matter, because if it's that far away and you're using your cell phone, should you really be using your cell phone? That's a little bit creepy. Peachy, you're disgusting. So I don't know. I don't think that they're really much use to 108 megapixel. I think we're still stuck in a world where 12 megapixel is great, because Instagram and Facebook and Twitter all haven't caught up to anything greater than that. And anything more, it just compresses to the point where it's pixelated. We've seen it time after time where people are like, what did I take this photo on? And
All right. So before we continue, I need to let you guys know that there was a slight error on my part. This is actually the fifth question. I don't know. I am so sorry about that. So this is the fifth question. Yeah.
It is?
I
didn't realize there was that many questions.
we're having such a great time.
I know.
I think Ben did, because Ben said bring it home. So Ben has been keeping time.
All right, there we go.
I'm so sorry, folks. I am so sorry, because I just looked at my score sheet. So yes. All right. So with that said, Scott, are you ready?
Yep, ready.
All right. Let us go.
So here's why it's actually functional. And I'm going to take it out for a second for just 1 minute. Is not necessarily the 100 times zoom and 108 megapixels or anything like that, or the megapixel or pickles that you call them. It's the ability that when you're zooming in even the 10x zoom, your 10x zoom is that much better. And here's why that's important. When your grandma or Grammy or grandpa are actually at your grandchildren's show and they want to hold up their phone and they want to zoom in a little bit, that 10x zoom, not the 100x, actually captures more details for them. So the photos that they really want to capture in that 10x picture are so much better. And why is that enabled? It's enabled because of the 100x zoom and the 108 megapixels. So the ability to have, it has the pure light gathering ability when you have 108 megapixels. Let's think about it in today's current time. The protests today gives you the clear ability to zoom in at 10x to see what's going on in the world. And that can really be a powerful bit of protection for the protesters out there. If you take a photo at 108 megapixels and you have the ability to zoom in and actually say, yes, this is the thing that happened to me, that makes a 100x zoom camera and 108 megapixels that much better, because it has the ability to capture the details, because there's just so much more information there. Why not have a 100x zoom? While you may not use the 100x, I guarantee you there are people out there that would use the 10x for sure, enabled by the 100. End.
All right. So, you guys got 2 minutes. Let's get it on.
Chewy, I love you very, very much, and you can keep doing that. But the idea is you don't want to slow down the innovation.
God, how dare you even go with the protester wrote, you scumbag? That's terrible to even say. Nobody's going to use that like that. That's terrible.
Everybody has their smartphones out there. That's exactly why they have that. How many times do you see when people zoom in like that?
Terrible.
Why would you stop innovation? The idea is like for a long time you would have those things. It's like, why wouldn't you have 100x zoom?
Nobody does
why
that.
do you want to stop innovation? Why do you want to have that? The ability to have 108 megapixels and 100 times zoom. If the ability to have that, it's driving the much better experience at a 10x zoom. You're not charging them anymore at all. It's a part of the absolute Samsung line. There's no difference in terms of the price like that.
It's a
As a matter
parlor
of fact,
trick.
it's actually cheaper than the Samsung Galaxy Fold. It's not a parlor. It's not a parlor trick.
I never use zoom.
If you don't use zoom, that is a total.
What lens do you want? Do you want something wider, or you want something where you can zoom? I want to get more into my shot. I want a landscape. Landscapes are much more pleasant.
100x zoom is where you need to be because it enables the ability for the average consumer to use the 10x zoom. You know that your parents and grandparents are going to zoom in on their grandkids. That's exactly what it is. The 100 zoom gives them a much better 10x
size in which it compresses it, and it's basically useless at that point.
They don't care about the photo size at 108. It's the idea. I'm not charging them a premium. It's roughly the same cost as an iPhone.
Egregious.
There is no
ashamed of yourself.
I'm not ashamed because I'm right. There's no reason to be ashamed when I'm correct. Why would you stop innovation? The idea is, why do you hate the future?
It's not that I hate the future.
You hate the future.
It's practicality.
Go back to 85,
Zoom is not a future thing. Zoom's been around since the 1970s.
Why would you stop that?
Zoom's been around since the 1970s. Peachy, give me
gives me the ability to have much better details in my photos. Why would I not want to have those details?
Let the record show that Peachy makes me sick.
I love you too.
He's like my Matt Damon. I'm never inviting him on my show.
Come on. Why?
Adam.
I'm your Matt Damon.
Adam, what do you have for this one?
This is a really, really competitive argument for me because Dobo looks at it from a practicality standpoint or the perception of whether it's a gimmick or not. And Peachy looks at it from a technical perspective. In real world applicability, is it a gimmick? So weighing both sides with the real world application and the technology behind it, I got to give this one to Mr. Peachy.
All right.
Disappointed in you, Adam. Disappointed.
Roberto, who do you have for this one?
Sorry, Dobo. Real world applications matter. Zoom enhance.
All right. Adrian, who do you have for this one?
Wait, who did he just vote for?
Peachy.
He voted for Scott.
Zoom enhance.
Okay. So, y'all already know this is what I do. Since he just voted for Peachy, that means the score is 7-7. Right now it is what, 7-7? So I'm the tiebreaker.
Yes.
We ain't about to do that. We're gonna force another round. Put up or shut up. Let's go. So my vote is going to Dobo on that one. Another round. Let's go.
Yes! The show goes on.
Okay, but Adrian, on the real though, who did you
on the real? I would have gave it to Peachy.
I knew it.
We gotta go another round.
I knew it. And you know what? I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna take that as a victory for myself.
Oh my God!
Now wait, Peachy. If you mess up and you blow it in the next round, it ain't
think
my
about
fault.
what the question was. Was it a gimmick? What is it a gimmick? Is a normal consumer going to look at a phone and buy that phone?
Bro, that round's over.
108.
Bro, that round's over.
Look at what the question is.
You just admitted, like, if we weren't going to go into some shenanigans, I swept you, bro.
That's the truth. That's harsh.
In all fairness, Dobo got a point though. He answered the question.
I answered the question. Bias aside, I answered the question exact.
My man,
Black
let's do
and
it
white.
though. It don't matter. We won't y'all ass anyway. Let's go.
If Ben was the judge, we know which way this would have went.
Right.
Let's go.
All right. The last question we'll put up here then, since we're going to put up one more question. Considering the price of 8K TVs and monitors, with Samsung releasing a device that can record in 8K and all these cameras that can do it too, is an 8K recording capable camera really necessary? I'm going to say it one more time. Considering the price of 8K TVs and monitors, is an 8K recording capable camera necessary? That is the question. Scott and Ben, who's going to take this one?
Hold on. Consulting the Scott, what do you want to do?
I'll take it.
Cool.
Oh, he's confident.
I love it.
I like that.
All right. Also, thank you, Miss Sheila, for the $20 super chat. I appreciate it. All right, Ben, we'll see you in a second. Sean and Dobo, who's going to take this one? Are we going to keep it Dobo and Scott, or what are we doing?
I mean, listen, Dobo, if you want the rematch against Scott, because I felt like, you whooped his ass that last round, bro. Despite what they may say. It's whatever,
I'm
bro.
going to let you have it, man. Maybe he can't handle you, bro.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to tag that ass. I'm going to tag his ass all through this.
Because I know we talked about both ends of the spectrum on this one.
Hey, bro, I'm about to tag his ass. I got it.
All right, so that means that it's going to be down to Scott and Sean.
I love you, Sean.
Take it home.
Hey,
Scott, take it home.
I never liked you.
Wow. Okay. Aggressive. Cool beans, man.
All
Yeah.
right. Scott, you won that last round, which means that you get to start. So which side will you choose?
No.
Choose wisely. Choose wisely.
No, I am not.
Okay.
The answer is no.
The answer is no. All right. So with that said, Scott, are you ready?
Yep. Sure ready.
Let's do it.
Let's not talk about the fact that his partner just talked about how 1080p actually is the standard. So why in the world would I film anything in 8K when I absolutely don't need it, especially if I'm going to watch it in 1080p? But I digress. Let's talk about it like this. There's a whole study out there that talks about on a unit basis, we don't expect 8K TVs to exceed a 1% volume until 2022. Let's talk about this. The first 4K TV came out in 2013. We're approaching 2020 right now, and there are still whole services out there, Netflix, Hulu, that don't have the ability right now to do 4K and everything. Why would I actually film anything at 8K if the standard is still 1080p per Dobo, which is Sean's partner? So in today's day and age, I'll also talk about the fact that people would still need to have the ability to stream that. The internet across the United States, while in big cities may be okay, there is 0% that those people out in the rural areas are going to have the ability to stream anything in 8K. They can barely stream in 4K. So why in the world would I record it in 8K? So there's currently the ability to go purchase a camera that has about $5,000 that's an 8K camera, but the file size is incredible. The average consumer is not going to shoot in 8K when everything, per what Dobo and Sean have said, the compression from Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter compress like row. It's like driving a Ferrari to the grocery store. You don't need that. This conversation is over.
Okay. All right. Sean, are you ready?
But yes, please. Now, tag me in now. Let's go.
Let's go.
First of all, Scott, this is where you fucked up. You ever seen that meme? Like, no, you fucked up, right? This is
language.
Sorry. I got him. All right. So listen, Scott. Listen, you already just said that if 8K is too much, why in the world would I shoot in 8K and why in the world would I shoot in 4K? In the last round, you said to have that flexibility in 4K and you can sit there and edit your 4K on your iPad. So you telling me that with 1080p being the standard, you found with overshooting in 4K, but 8K is just like overkill. Bro, that don't even make sense. And if you want to talk about storage options, here's again with somebody who actually does this on a regular. We all have long GOP files. So if 8K is on a long GOP file within the H.265, or if they come in a more efficient codec, which they're working on now, which has been approved, H.266, 8K is actually not a thing of the past or a thing of the future. It's actually more present than you think. So when you're shooting 8K, not only do you have more capabilities in post-production when you're cropping in. You said something about 4K live cropping. Think about 8K live cropping. So now you're sitting there with that big old sensor and you got something scaling through and everything that you're getting that resolution is at least at 4K or higher. So now it's crazy to me because now you're saying 1080p is more than enough. But just a few rounds ago, 4K was just like where it needs to be. 8K is actually a very flexible codec, depending on how the camera manufacturers use it. And right now, most camera manufacturers are using this codec in a very efficient way. Even if you look at the Canon RS, the R5, that 8K is in a very efficient codec, even with RAW.
All right, gentlemen, y'all got 2 minutes. This is for all the marbles. I want to make sure everybody knows this is for all the marbles because of Adrian. So this is for all the marbles. Let's go.
I argued that. That last question was that last question. I'm arguing this particular question.
Did you look at the codec?
Let's talk
So why
about
did you
the
bring
fact
up our old
I don't
conversation
have
then?
to
Why
because
did you
I'm
bring
the
up our old
average
conversation?
consumer. Why would an
Why did
average
you bring up
consumer
our old
have to worry
conversation
about
then,
8K?
Exactly.
Why does your partner bring up 1080p as the standard? Why do we got to talk about that?
1080p is still a standard,
Why-
right? According to
why
you.
do I
So why
have
are you even shooting 4K at all then?
That was last question. That's not this question. Why don't you argue this question, not the last question? The idea is why in the world would I need to record for an average consumer when less than 1% is going to have that by 2022? And we're still
you're not
7 years since we got the remove from 4K televisions, and not everybody has a 4K television. Why do I want to film for anything in 8K when I?
But you tell me they don't want
But
that.
I can't. But if less than 1%, if less than 1% have an 8K TV, why would you film an 8K? That's not even usable at that point because you can't watch the TV with 8K because nobody buys it. It's just not cost effective at this point. If you're telling me you want to argue with industry statistics that say you're not even going to get 1% by 2022, look, we're not even in there from 7 years ago.
And then you look at since like 12.
I didn't vouch for that in this question. This question, I'm vouching for the idea that the answer is no. I don't need an 8K camera. I don't care about codecs as an average consumer. This doesn't matter. When you talk about as a professional, that's fine as a professional, but you're like 2% of the actual people out there.
But 8K
Take
is
your
like,
professional lens off and talk about the average consumer. The average consumer does not care about 8K. Let's be real here. Nobody is going to buy an 8K camera as an average consumer because it doesn't make any sense for them at all.
And then they have
8K is not the future. We're barely getting into 4K. We're barely getting into the point. You absolutely
very affordable now.
You don't even have anything from Netflix to Hulu right now. The average consumer cannot get every single show in 4K. That's true though. You can still get.
Love you, Scott.
I love you too, Sean.
Jesus Christ.
All right.
Sean went into the science on that.
Sean went from Sean be nice to Sean be nasty. All right.
For real.
I
learned something new today.
No.
Dude, I didn't take it any personal at all.
I learned something new.
For the record, I'm saying language on behalf of the sponsor. I was over here lit. I was over here lit. All right, but we're going to go ahead and knock this out. So we're going to start with Roberto Blake. Who do you have in this last round, sir?
That was well argued, gentlemen. So tip of the hat to both of you. That was rough. I shoot everything in 4K, but I already know better. I know that right now, everybody watches my YouTube videos. 80% of YouTube traffic, people watch on their phone. And you know what the most popular resolution is that they watch it in? 720. 720 overwhelmingly, even on the most advanced phones in the world. And we know that. Pandemic happened. Internet streaming went up by, 70% increase? And yet, we all had our quality throttled down to about 480 as our new standard. Bring up the rural areas. Great point. There are parts of Georgia where you can barely get a signal, let alone do anything. TV adoption. A lot of my family members still don't have 4K televisions. Netflix, you brought up the streaming services. They don't even have the capacity. 8K is cool. It's flexible. It's versatile. Everything Sean said about the codecs is right. But in terms of its actual necessity and practical application, that's what how Scott won me on that.
All right.
Such a loaded question.
Adam, who do you have?
Yeah, I wish maybe one of them would have asked a little bit for clarification on this one, because with the word necessary, you can make two different arguments there. Now, Scott really tied this together well with real world application. Whether the numbers are right on the 2022 thing, I don't know, but a lot of people that I know still don't even have 4K, and there's a lot of streaming services you can't even get in 4K. Had it been one of those things where it like necessary for the driving of technology in the future versus necessary as a recording format, whatever.
I mean, I do like
Copyright.
Okay, so that was gonna go Scott, but it was just one of those things. That was a hard question to go against.
Straight up.
A loaded question.
Adrian.
I'm sorry, I accidentally hit a sound effect, so I wasn't really paying attention. What was the vote?
He chose Scott.
And who did Roberto choose?
Scott as well.
Well, in that event, I think we about to have a TKO. We're going with Scott.
Play the song.
I just like the record to show both Dobo. I love that so much.
Does my heart good.
Wowza.
All right, well, that's it. So,
Dobo and Sean, I do love you guys. I watch all your stuff, and Sean, I do believe you actually are super talented, and Dobo, you're pretty good too.
Wow, you're being so nice.
Hey, I appreciate it, man. I do.
Absolutely.
I do.
No, I do have a couple more questions.
Oh no, I'm out. Like no, hell no, absolutely not. No, I am not going to do a double or nothing. None of that shenanigans.
What's the matter? You scared, Peachy?
We done.
How
could I be scared? I just went 6-0 basically against you two in the last 2 rounds. So
that last question was so lopsided. Come on.
Hey, listen.
That was like whoever chose the opposing side of that was going to lose. Whether it was Scott, there was slam dunk loss.
No, because Sean did very well with how he was arguing that.
Sean did well, I did too. It didn't matter because once you start rambling off the real world applications of it, the practicality of it.
But the thing is, your opponent could have failed. Your opponent could have failed that. Your opponent could have failed that. There's a lot of people who would have dropped the ball.
I'm not going to lie. You would have to be just about, I don't know, paraplegic to lose that one.
No, we've seen fighters on this. We've seen fighters that would have lost that. We've seen fighters here. We've seen fighters in this arena that would have lost that.
Guys, you take what you get. I was on the wrong side of the argument with the Sony and the Canon lenses.
Right, you were on the wrong
side.
I worked
with it. Yeah, and I worked with it. You got work with it.
More workable.
Nah, come on, man. We all know that's not going to be working. I don't know. We've got two judges that are Sony shooters, so they know the deal. Come on now. Can't tell me that.
Trenton, I know Trenton's out there. Trenton.
Well, actually, remember, I do also I own 3 Canon cameras as well. Like, I mean,
unbelievable.
Sony's just my use case. I don't like.
I'm a Sony shooter. I have an A7 III.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, you end up on the wrong side of the argument. Then the real battle of what you disagree with needs to come out. Sean did his bit. He went from Sean be nice to Sean be nasty, and he did it. So you work with what you got, man.
I was crossing fingers, Sean.
I think that needs to be a thing. I think we need Sean be nasty like a little bit more often.
Yeah, man.
Like you really came. Like you really came at me.
He came with it. He came with it. And look,
he went from this is a friendly tech debate to listen.
That's what it's about. That's what it's about, man.
The codec thing. The codec thing was strong. Like I was like, you know what? Like he was strong. He came with the receipts.
Before we continue, I do have to go ahead and make sure everybody knows that means that Scott and Ben are the winners of this one. So we're gonna put Peachy face on the big screen for everybody to see, since everybody wants to see the Peachy face. And we're gonna put Ben on the big screen.
First of all, nobody laughs that hard, dog.
Listen, how does it feel now losing professionally? Now we're gonna fight.
How are you gonna lose to a fat kid from Ohio?
Now,
Hold on, guys. Hold on.
I'm picking up my mic now. Okay, no. Let me try to talk a bit. Dobo had his time. I'm gonna have my time. I'm picking up my mic. Yeah, and professionals. How does it come? Give me feedback. How does it professionally? Huh? Oh yeah, we're
said you want
talking
feed-
now.
you
Oh yeah, you
you
didn't
want
think I
feedback?
could trash
Hey,
talk in it.
listen.
The energy's coming back now.
You want-
Nah,
hey,
listen,
hold on,
Ben,
hold on.
you are
Huh?
funny,
Oh,
bro.
don't worry, I'll wait.
If you want feedback from Dobo, here we go. Hold on. If you want feedback from Dobo,
So firstly, the fight's going to go exactly as.
Who's going to win this fight tomorrow night?
So firstly, the fight's going to go exactly as
Read
I
it and
planned.
weep it.
It's going to go amazing. It's going to be a first
What do you
round
think about the
knockout, no
consequences,
questions
Sean?
asked.
That was fun.
that happened.
That was amazing.
It's amazing.
That stuff was hilarious.
That's
I was
amazing.
talking to my wife this morning, and she was just
I was
cracking up.
yeah.
laughing.
I was messaging Doma. My wife loved that. She was dying. She's like, "Oh, you have to send something back to him." I was like,
I
"Oh,
wanted an investigation.
Y'all
I
get
want
in
to-
on TikTok while it still exists. Y'all get in on this
I want
TikTok
bank
while it still
statements.
exists.
I want bank statements. Mike, I'm filing a complaint with the Tech Fight Commission. I want these judges investigated. I want an indictment by Monday morning.
The
Indict-
commission.
Well,
the
the-
commissioner's
I'm the
right there.
commissioner.
Yeah.
Hi.
We're fucked, John. We're screwed. We're done. And I said done. We're screwed. Flying to Houston tomorrow. Flying to Houston tomorrow.
That's another way to take an L.
Oh man.
Sean,
All right,
we were so close to popcorn, Sean. So close to popcorn.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh
Yeah.
that's
It don't even matter. Ben's in the UK. He can't eat popcorn. He gonna have to have
Wait a minute.
taste.
I thought that the losers were supposed to be booted off.
Oh,
Well, before they go, I have a special surprise announcement.
Is this like Nickelodeon where we get parting gifts?
Well, actually, the
Okay,
winners
cool. Drop it
of
like it's hot.
the winners of tonight's fight were supposed to receive access to the YouTube Starter Kit, a lifetime access to the YouTube Starter Kit. And this battle was so well fought, and it went to a bonus round. And
Well,
as a result, all of the combatants will be receiving the YouTube Starter Kit.
Yeah. All right. I'm down with
Hey,
that.
thumbnail game about to go crazy, baby. Okay.
Okay.
We'll take it. It's not a loss then. We just don't get popcorn. That's about it. What are you gonna do?
I'll take Ben's popcorn. He can't eat it.
Oh shit, Ben can't even get popcorn in the
I want his popcorn. I split it with Dobo. I give Dobo 30. I take 30.
All right,
Damn
I guess
you,
this-
Sean. Damn
all
you,
right,
Sean.
so I guess this
Look,
is where
today
Adrian
I
does
was- today I
whatever.
Yeah.
Today I was
this is where we
powered
go
by Windows
bye-bye.
95.
Hey, Ben,
Ben,
don't talk to
Ben-
me.
95 wins.
Stop talking
I
to
was
me,
powered
Ben.
by
You
Windows
were
95.
saved by
That's why,
Peachy,
you know.
bro.
Where's Mike?
Let's just be real. Peachy held this out for you, okay?
Old school.
Hey, listen.
So,
Ben,
No,
you
I
know,
could not have
you
done this
rode,
without
you
Ben.
rode this man's coattail. So whatever he gets, you can't give him half of what you get.
Who won round one? Who won round one?
I did this because I need everybody to be quiet for just a second.
Roger that.
I just got off the phone with the channel sponsor, and so here's how this is going to go down. I want to make sure I put this out there. So Scott and Ben, as winners of tonight, you guys are going to receive 60 bags of popcorn apiece. Ben, I've been told by the channel sponsor that you don't need to worry anything about how it's going to get over there. He's going to make sure it gets over there. And you guys also, because of the fact that the prize is directly determined by how many people show up this evening, because we did not break up 100 people, that means that you guys will get $100 a piece in PayPal. So you guys need to make sure you drop your PayPal links to LB so that Popcorn World can take care of that. Now, Sean and Dobo, as the runner-ups and the losers of the evening, you guys will receive 30 bags of popcorn.
What? We still get popcorn?
Also, Scott and Ben, just throwing us out there as well. We have another prize that was not.
We
Yeah,
still get popcorn.
the last prize
I
that
am
you guys
so
receive
excited.
is you'll receive 3 beats of your choice from chosenbeats.club. So you need to make sure you hit up Tana So Lit and you will receive 3 free beats of your choice from chosenbeats.club, courtesy of Tana So Lit, the creator of the intro theme.
Oh my god, we still get popcorn.
Yeah, we
I am so
Oh, we lost. All right, we lost Ben. All right, since we lost Ben, I'll bring Dope.
I have never been so excited. Oh my god. Like seriously, I could cry actually.
Hey, I'm wanting to take this popcorn for a
I
long
feel like
time.
Manny Pacquiao a little bit here, you know? I'm getting popcorn.
Yeah.
All right, well, with that said, you guys got anything you want to say to the debaters before we go ahead and wrap it up for the evening?
Thank you, LB, for the
My internet's bugging.
Hey, but no, on serious note, man, I really did enjoy this tech fight, man. You guys really did come out and y'all came out to, you know what I'm saying, to win. Y'all came in as the underdogs for real. And we had to keep it a buck. And y'all came out and showed out, man. So, you know what I'm saying, congrats to y'all.
Yeah,
it's
fun. And I look forward to another one, man.
Absolutely. Appreciate that.
Congrats to Ben. Could barely hear you, but you did well for what I heard.
Tonight, Sean B. Nasty is born. Sean
Scott is a hell of a master debater. He did well.
Baby.
Well.
I'm there.
Adrian, ruthless.
So, Roberto, do you have anything before we take off?
I will be reaching out actually tomorrow. DM each of the combatants. DM me tomorrow to receive your coupon that will give you 100% off on your YouTube starter kit, and you will have full access to that and the over 100 downloads, as well as the 20 best title formulas for YouTube, etc., all of the things.
Yes.
Adam,
man.
Adam, as a first-time judge, do you have anything you want to say before we leave? I know you and Scott are scheduled to have a match at some point this season, so...
Oh, I can't wait to see that fight. Who's the judge?
I want to keep this nice and fair and all that goodness, and I hope you enjoy this because I'm going to crucify you.
A lot. I was going to say Sean and Dobo thought that same thing. Be careful what you wish for.
Hey.
But I still get 30 seconds of popcorn.
The wound is still open, okay? The wound is still open, brother. You could at least waited for that a little bit.
I'm sorry, Adam was talking trash. I have to go. My bad.
You talk trash to Adam, then we have nothing to do with that.
I'm sorry. My apologies. I love you guys.
And
Adrian,
my campaign manager for all the pre-rolls.
Adrian, do you have anything before we take off?
Yes, since Scott and Ben won, your prize from me is I will not be petty with you on Twitter for one entire week.
That's worth its weight in gold.
That is worth a lot.
It really is.
That's worth it.
One entire.
Ben is counting from tomorrow.
That's one entire week. So, fam. I'll take the milliseconds I can get for it.
Take that.
All right. So if one of my mods doesn't mind dropping the website for for LB and Popcorn World in the chat, it is www.doingtheworldofflavor.com. Like I said, tonight's contestants, the winners will be going home with 60 bags of popcorn, as well as $100 cash money. So make sure you guys send your PayPal links to Popcorn World, LeBaron Burton, so he can make sure you get your money post haste. And the runner-ups this evening will be going home with 30 bags of popcorn. So Double is excited about that.
I can't believe it, dude. I didn't expect it. I'm so freaking excited.
I really wanted that popcorn too. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Oh, dude,
I about that popcorn.
I had a serious conversation with Sean. I said, dude, we're getting popcorn tonight. Don't screw this up for me. I need the popcorn. Dude, I'm so excited, man.
Seriously. So, Mike, thank you. Mike, Adrian, Roberto, Dobo, seriously, everybody, thank you so much. This was a blast. Ben, we always knew, baby. We always knew.
You guys got lucky. You guys got lucky.
You better not. You better not.
Underdogs, baby.
You know what? Here's the deal. Here's the deal.
Underdog story, baby.
I don't know how they randomized the questions. But of all those questions, there was a couple of those questions. If they fell one way or the other, you guys were TKO'd like round 4. So I'm just saying.
I will throw this out there. We can always do a rematch. It doesn't have to necessarily be cameras. We can just do straight tech on a rematch if you guys are willing.
We can do that. Sean and I are always down for, tag team back again.
Yeah.
The
master debaters.
Oh, hey now.
All right, well, folks, I'm going to say thank you to the judges, to Adam for stepping in, Roberto for being the guest this evening. I appreciate it. Adrian, as always, with the pettiness and the tie breaking. Thank you. We just want to make sure everybody knows we went the distance we did because of Adrian. I am not the real Don King. I am just here to host.
I'm not dealing with an asterisk, so don't even go. We're not going there.
Okay. All right. I'm just putting it up.
Text in the mail, Adrian.
All right. Yeah, Adrian, I'll get with you about that LSU sweater. Anyway, so we're gonna put that out there. And Sean, Dobo, Ben, Scott, I appreciate you guys giving me your time as always. Thank you for being here. Especially Ben, because God knows what time it is in the morning over there, but I know he's ready to go to bed. So
it's like
Ben,
3:20, I think.
Yeah, Ben. I don't want to single Ben out, but Ben consistently shows up to these, despite the fact that it's 3-something in the morning over there. So Ben, thank you, brother, for being here. You know, I really appreciate it. And on that note, folks, we're gonna go ahead on.
It's fun. It's the fun draws me in, man. There's always more fun than anything, man. Love it.
I think I really like this tag team concept.
Oh, it's fun.
It's fun. It is so fun.
I think though, for future rules,
it's awesome.
it should go back.
It's fun, man.
We should go back and forth, or you should have the opportunity to tag your partner in for the rebuttal.
That'll be good.
You know what? Dobo, I think we can do that. I think we can do that.
That's cool.
Like I'm thinking of that true WWE match. I can tag my partner in.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what?
I might have a strong argument for the first round, but Dobo might be itching and ready for the rebuttal.
You get the wheels turning.
All right. Well, you know what? I actually like that.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah, I like that. All right, well, folks, with that said, we're going to go ahead and go. Peachy, enjoy your winnings. Ben, enjoy your winnings. And Scott and, Sean and Dobo, you guys still enjoy your popcorn? Because that seems like all y'all were ready for was the popcorn.
I did. I was.
We're so stoked. And we got the starter kit, so.
Starter kit swag. You got the starter kit. Also, like I said,
Roberto, shout out for that, man. Roberto, that's real
that
stuff.
Is, because he put a lot of effort into that.
To me as a creator, man, that's like, I'm gonna maximize that, man. Thank you guys, honestly.
And wait
Thank
till you see
man.
Wait till you see the upgrades that we're doing for August, because sneak peek. If you guys have seen how I've been stepping up my thumbnail game, we are going to be in August adding, and you guys get all the upgrades. We're going to be adding some of Roberto's own personal, the stuff that I use for me into that.
And on top of that, if one of my minds doesn't mind dropping the website chosenbeats.club in the chat real quick for me, because like I said, the channel intro was created by Tana So Lit. So Scott and Ben, you guys will get to choose 3 beats from chosenbeats.club.
I was gonna say, I need a new intro, outro, so I am excited.
Hey,
he's Grammy nominated. Like my dude, he's Grammy nominated.
Hey, Tana Beats. I just used one of his beats on my Black Lives Matter video I'm posting tomorrow. Oh my God, bro. Tana is cold with them beats, bro. That boy is disgusting.
Nah, he is. If you guys watch my channel, man, you know me. I'm a sucker for good beats, so you know it. You know it. Let's do it.
There it is right there, chosenbeats.club. So make sure you guys go to there. Hit up Tana So Lit to get your 3 beats. Also, if you're in the chat and you want a beat for your content, hit it up, man. Great beats at great prices.
Yeah.
All right, folks, we're going to go ahead and bounce. We'll see y'all next weekend on Saturday Night Tech Fight.
Bye, y'all.
Later.
Peace out.